So you were there during that whole sort of boom then in Dubai?
Thanks.
During the time it was being built and developed, it was...
And what were you doing out there then, as a business?
A mixture of things.
Thank you, cheers.
Yeah, a large part of my job was to bring new businesses, which are established international brands, to the Middle East.
Yeah.
And it was fun. You got to travel around the world and look for the best brands in their areas and negotiate to bring them to Dubai.
Oh wow, cool. So pretty high profile job then.
Yeah, it was fun. And
so why'd you come back?
I always wanted my kids to grow up where I grew up at a point in time. So we always thought at secondary school.
Yeah.
But it was difficult because the opportunities they had as young kids in Dubai in terms of facilities were second to none.
Oh, wow, yeah.
So it was a balance between the two, between facilities and family.
Yeah.
And we thought it was nice that they would get the opportunity to have some great exposure in facilities when they're very young. As they kind of got older, we thought family and that home environment was then more important.
So because you're from the island originally?
Yeah.
I always find it's like an elastic band effect. That,
Everyone comes back.
Yeah, you sort of go off, because we went off, we lived in Sydney for a time, Melbourne, came back, lived in London for a time, came back, and it's always like the elastic band effect of the Isle of Wight. You always seem to naturally gravitate back. I don't know if it's because family are here. Same with us. Like when we were in London, we wanted to have kids, so we moved back to the island because it's just such a great place for kids.
Yeah, we are really lucky.
But because did you do the same thing? Did you go off to?
I went to uni.
Yeah.
I went to the elastic band and ended up in Winchester.
But
I come back. So not far. I was only gone for 2 years.
What did you do at uni?
Well, I wanted to do PE teaching, but I changed my mind. Didn't want to do it anymore. And then my dad said to me, I want you and your brother to take over the business at some point. So I was like, well, I kind of need to work there. So.
My girls were playing girls rugby at I think they were 4 or 5 at a big club, and it was full of girls. You come here, we tried, and there was one other girl, and that's pretty much a whole island. And then they went to hockey training, or again in Dubai they had all these facilities from 5, 6, 7, and they were the only 2, and then there was 4 years before the next girl wanted to play hockey. And the amount of facilities and coaching. And also the interest and uptake. They're just not there. The kids aren't turning up to play. So you're not getting that kind of drive through of people taking their kids to play these sports.
It sounds like your girls are pretty sporty.
They have no choice really.
Down from the
Whether sporty or not, they're going to be sporty.
No, it's definitely good though.
No, it's it is.
Just finding time to do it now.
Yeah, I suppose that's the thing. Business takes over sometimes, doesn't it?
Life, isn't it? But
yeah, it does get busy, doesn't it? Yeah,
try and get back to the gym.
Yeah.
Get rid of the lockdown.
We need to do that at ours because we're always on the computer all the time.
Yeah.
It's just like you can just get stuck in this whole thing of you need to force them to take lunch breaks sometimes.
I know, yeah.
But very very nice. Yeah, it's because it's not very healthy really to be able to going out and sitting at a computer desk all day and slouched over and stuff. And I think Fee said she's got back problems anyhow, but it doesn't help with her back problems either. That sort of thing. So it's just really not useful.
One of the best things I think I've come across since I came back was Parkrun. I think it's an incredible setup for the community. And it doesn't matter where you're at, you can go along and. That getting out on a Saturday morning with the whole community together, 300 odd runners, doesn't matter if you're 90 or 10 or if you're carrying some weight or in great shape. It's for everybody. You can get around that course somehow over the time. And it's just fabulous.
That is good. We just started to just saying this week was introducing a thing called we're calling walking Wednesdays at Brightbulb, where we every Wednesday we make a habit of everybody gets up and go for a walk in Wootton, just walking around Wootton really, just get out for an hour. So it was actually doing something rather than always. So we've got a specific time. We're definitely all going to get out and do do some activity because you can, like I say, just get stuck in or out otherwise and just
You've got some great places to walk to as well. You can
walk
to the Abbey and
Firestone as well.
Yeah, it's great
if you walk down there. Yeah, we're pretty lucky in Wootton actually. There was actually some little places you didn't realise even existed. You know.
Oh really?
There's some really nice. Sort of if you go up past Lakeside as well on the side there. There's really nice sort of park areas up there as well.
We tell our guys they can go out for a 10-minute walk.
Oh, yeah.
On top of their lunch break.
That's a good idea.
So yeah, because
just to get them out.
People are complaining about people going out smoking, they get an extra break.
Oh yeah,
so
there is that thing, isn't there?
If you're not smoking, then you can go.
I've always wondered about that actually.
Yeah.
Because when I used to work at Tesco's years ago. Me and Fee, that's where we met actually. And there was always like people had their smoking break. Always seemed to we're just going out for smoking break, and the rest of us were like, well, what's that? It's not really fair. I can kind of see see why, although I think presumably they take it out of their break anyhow, do they? Or not? Is it just
no,
oh, okay.
No. We give them 10 minutes, so they can have 2 cigarette breaks if they really want it. But
it's good to have those sort of things like that from an employer. I think. Like
we have showers at work, so people can cycle in, makes it as well.
Yeah, that's what we don't have. They could go in the creek, I suppose, and go for a swim, but but we don't have a shower. But it's quite good to have those sort of incentives in the business as well as things that people, even when you're trying to get someone employed, you can go to there's these benefits as well, which we just do as a business naturally. We've just been talking about duvet days. One of my guys went on have you heard of duvet days?
No.
It's like a thing that was like in our contracts whereby they can call up. They've got sort of 3 times they can do it in a year. They can just call up, text or whatever, just literally last minute and say, I'm just not feeling up to it today, and just take that day off. And it's almost just saves the sort of hassle of pretending to be ill, or I'm not feeling very well, when actually they just can't. Sometimes you might be hungover or something, or just and it's just quite a nice little thing to offer them, whereby they can just know that they're not going to get told off or anything, and or ask us like, "What, were you really ill? Were you really ill?" They can just literally do that.
Do you pay them as well?
Sorry?
Do you pay them?
Yeah. It's just sort of like it's just to try and help with anything. I mean, to be fair, we're such a good team, we don't really have any of that anyhow. But it's quite,
I know what you mean,
it's quite nice from their perspective to know they can just ring up and go, oh, actually, we'll, I'm hungover today. Okay, it's fine.
Yeah.
I think, but those sort of things, I think for, when, that's something we can talk about when we're employing people. By the way, we do these incentives and stuff. We do this stuff together. We have these team days, and that actually, I think, helps for people to want to work for you as well.
Definitely.
So I don't know how you find out the chamber. Do you have, because the chamber do a lot of incentives for others, obviously.
Yeah.
We were talking about the Isle of Wight lottery as being one that I didn't know about the fact that you, as part of the Isle of Wight lottery, can actually give that to your employees. So there's a employee package. Have you got that?
Yeah, we do it. Yeah.
How does that work then?
Just comes out of their wages. Every month.
So you can do it, because you can do it 2 ways. You can do it as it comes out of the wages, or that you pay for it, or something like that.
Yeah, you've got 2 different options which people use. One is the employees ask to do the wage scheme, which is what WRS do. Okay. And then it's basically taken straight out from your wages through HR, and it goes automatically. Okay. And then you have a business like Wight Fibre, who gift it as an incentive. So after you've been there for so long, they pay on your behalf.
Oh, okay.
And they've had some big winners. Over the years, which is
actually, I think I remember seeing a picture of someone with a big check of, was it 10,000?
I think it was 10,000,
Which is
thank you nice when it's been, paid for, and
that's a good idea, actually. After you've been there for a certain amount of time, then
comes a gift.
That sounds like a really good, sort of incentives that I sort of think maybe we should do. Either way, really, as to how that works. But so
it's like £1 a week, isn't it?
Yeah, because me and Fee do it. Just us doing it, but I kind of think that it's a really good incentive to give it again to your employees, to be able to say you can do the lottery and see the big winners as well, and they can see some of those stories going out about this company's won, this chap won 10,000.
It's £52 a year. With a chance for your employee to anything they get, even if it's £100, then that's nice. And
Yeah, no, it definitely worked.
Emma won it the first week we did it.
Did she?
Yeah. Or second week, yeah.
I bet she was chuffed.
Yeah, I think it was £100.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Makes it all worthwhile, doesn't it? But it's almost just being in that thing, isn't it? And just being in it to win. You've got to be in it to win it, haven't you?
And you can do it in different ways. As an employee, you could have one person a year based on the employee of the year, gets theirs paid for the year.
Yeah.
I mean, there's lots of different ways where you can play with it. It's just fun.
Yeah, and also you get quite good odds, don't you? I think with the Isle of Wight lottery. I mean, obviously compared to like the national lottery, it's going to be massively better.
And at the moment, you're looking around 4,000 players, so you got it's pretty good odds.
I'm almost so close.
Next week. Yeah. It's funny actually because the lottery was quite beneficial to us because, as you know, we did we got a lottery loan, which is the other part of I suppose the other side of things to the Isle of Wight lottery, and we actually got a £25,000 loan, which was actually a really, really good process actually, because we had to do a business plan for it. We had to say, what we're going to do in 5 years, what we're going to do with the money, and how it's going to work, and how it's going to help us grow. And we went through to the board meeting with you and I think Steve Porter and John Allen and stuff, talking about just to express what the plan is. And that all went through really well, and actually that helped facilitate us because we were looking to take that stepping stone into bringing sort of a couple more members, 2 or 3 more people into the business. And although we felt we would be okay with that, what we were worried about is the cash flow situation and how that. So actually bringing the lottery in to help us with that meant we could take that stepping stone, and that actually was when Adam and Shane started. Which actually sort of has helped transform the business further. So actually the lottery is, we sort of put a lot of that down to having that behind us as well. So it's great that that's part of something that happens there.
I think one of the key things there is a lot of businesses don't want to put the work into to do the planning. So they want the money, but they're not prepared to do what can be a huge amount of work. But it's not really about the work, it's the fact you have to do that planning, and as a tool it's really good for a business to sit down and actually put together a detailed 1 year, 3 year, 5 year, 10 year long-term plan. Exactly, get into the nitty-gritty, why you need it, how you need it, how you're going to pay it. It's a great business tool.
Well, I found it really useful to sort of set up our business plan for the next few years, and we're like, okay, we actually got to think now, what are we doing? We're not, originally we were just sort of going out, just doing what we were doing, not really thinking about where we're going to next, but actually let's think about this now and let's try and progress that to that point and to that point and to that point. And now we do that planning all the time. So I think it's a really, really useful, and I know it's helped lots of businesses. I think you've given almost like £1 million away in terms of
almost
you're almost there. So it's like
and a huge job creation.
That's it. Creating 400 odd jobs or something like that. So it's like so it's amazing really for businesses, especially like in where we were, to be able to take that next step and go, we can do this now with the backing of the chamber and the lottery. So I've always and
all that money comes from playing.
Yeah, exactly. So it spins around really. So and it's all within the island economy. So compared to sort of spending it on the national lottery and the other things,
I think the Hambrough people don't realise that it's here, and then they don't realise what the menu is. And it's just
well, the chefs have always historically been fantastic here. Like we said, Robert Thompson, I think you were saying he got his Michelin star here, didn't he? And they've always had fantastic chefs running through here. That seems to be a theme of Ventnor actually. They do tend to have quite a few places in Ventnor, really fabulous sort of chefs.
It seems to come and go a little bit. And we got a summer place here when we were in Dubai, so as our base. And at the time, it must be about 10 years ago, there's a huge investment in Ventnor, which was really exciting. Robert was here with his Michelin star. He had lovely wine shops and everything in Ventnor. And probably 2 years after that, the whole place seemed to go right back down again, and all that excitement went, and everywhere started to close and it was pretty much like that for another 5 years, and in the last couple of years you feel that energy
started to come back
a bit. With the arts and
the Ventnor festival thing that they do in the Ventnor Fringe.
And you feel that maybe Ventnor's got another go. Out of all the places of its style on the island, you just feel Ventnor's just got that little bit.
Well, it's the place that all the sort of celebs seem to come to.
They do, don't they?
Robert, Robert Patterson, and always down at the Spyglass apparently, and there's all sorts of celebs seem to love Ventnor because it's kind of got that unusual characteristic, isn't it? It's almost a little bit hippie townish,
Yeah.
like, but it's just something a bit different, even on the island. I mean, the island's sort of separated out anyhow, but Ventnor just seems to be slightly even different, even more so.
Steeple Cove has that own little
nice.
kind of
I love it down there.
quill spot.
Yeah, I was saying about earlier, wasn't I? About the kids went down to Steeple with the kids and went past the cricket ground, and everybody's like their picnics and cricket going on. I was saying, obviously I've never really been into cricket, but it does look like a really relaxing experience. There's everybody there with their picnics, all families watching the cricket. It just seems just really chilled out. There seems to be something like that. It seems to be a bit like that in Ventnor actually, in terms of that sort of chilled out attitude.
Yeah, I think there's still a lot for people to discover here in terms of the businesses and good food. A lot of good food spots.
Is that the what's it? Smoking Lobster?
Smoking Lobster,
Lobster, yeah.
Haven't been there yet.
They keep on getting, people keep on telling me about them. Actually, the food down there is going to be fabulous.
I booked it for next week actually for lunch.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's my birthday, so.
Oh, very nice.
Can't stand to eat.
I think even Winter Gardens down the road have been up in their game as well, and beautiful views down there as well. Even from here, you've got stunning views, but down there you've got all the way across the Esplanade, haven't you? But yeah, no, it does seem to be coming back a bit in Ventnor, which is nice to see.
Yeah, no, it's hopeful. Just that little bit more investment, a little bit more kind of trust and faith in being shown here.
It's kind of what they need more so in Sandown as well. I mean, they're starting to do that now. You've got what's the one along the seafront there? The bandstand, which is quite nice, but they're just trying to regenerate that town. I mean, that's,
It looks sorry for itself.
It does,
when you drive through.
It's such a shame considering the heritage of the place.
Yeah.
You look at Shanklin now and how they've completely regenerated the whole area down there, and I think they're starting to make progress. I mean, I don't know if you know more than we do, Steve, and that sort of stuff. So I know you speak to the council more, but the regeneration in Sandown could, if they could get that up to where it needs to be, it could be such a popular location.
The frustrating thing with all the island projects and development projects is they all feel so small. You don't feel there's that just big project which will make the difference, which will be the thing everyone talks about. Again, I'm so used to the mentality in Dubai where you simply build the biggest, best thing, and you
just keep getting bigger and bigger, don't they? Every time.
But it worked. You biggest tower, the biggest mall, your biggest everything, but it worked. And the country is what it is today from having been brave and taken that chance.
How do they get that investment though for that sort of size?
Obviously, it's private equity, it's oil money, and it's all those things, and but it's not about. It's very easy to say, okay, well, Dubai is this, it has all this money, it has all that, and the Isle of Wight's this, and it doesn't. There is no money, but it's not so much the money; it's actually the mindset. It's the ability to think in terms of having almost like a Dubai mindset. Without the money, and you bring that to the Isle of Wight, and that mindset, you can get past a lot of things with a view to looking outside the box, thinking big, and then finding the ways to invest it. But if you never have the vision, you never have the dream, you never have the picture, it doesn't matter about the money because you haven't thought about it in the first place. And that's what the island lacks, that vision of what it could be, and that something exciting. Which,
and I do find sometimes it seems to be like blockers get put in the way of certain things that you sort of think is it just because of old rules, we can't plan this, we can't plan that, but think outside of that, why can't we do this? Just because there's this, something that was said hundreds of years ago, we can't put that there, but actually how would that help the economy?
I think it's more based on that. It's the ideas aren't there. You haven't got the person there with this concept driving that concept because they don't have it. And it gets it's that big vision. It's about building something iconic, and it doesn't always have to be a structure. It could be, can we put the very best cycle track facility on the Isle of Wight, so you can come off the boat, you can cycle off the boat in Portsmouth onto the island, and you can have this world-class facility cycling around the island, and people will come for that, and it's investment which brings money outside of your peak seasons because people can cycle 12 months of the year. It's that type of mentality. It doesn't have to be structured, but it has to be something which doesn't matter where you are. You think, well, have you? The TTs are really exciting. Out of everything I've seen in the last few years, that's the most exciting because again, it's something which will draw a different people to the
Well,
island.
an amazing amount to the economy as well, but then there's even backlash against that, isn't there?
Yeah,
It's like, what's the mentality for that? Backlash is like, come on, this could be really great for businesses, this could be great for people, great for the island.
Yeah, definitely.
It brings a new crowd, and it brings a new... People will come here who don't even know where the Isle of Wight is, and people who've never even heard of the Isle of Wight will come here and they'll see it, and then once you've been to the island, people will quickly fall in love with it, and they'll come back.
Yeah.
For the
Funny,
holidays.
when I was in London, I used to get it all the time. I was working and on the tube, and I'd be chatting to people, and they were like, "Oh, where are you from?" "Oh, from the Isle of Wight." "Oh, where's that? Where's the Isle of Wight?"
France?
It's either that, or it was, "Oh, I went there when I was a child."
Yeah,
it's
I went to Blackgang.
you only ever went there.
That's lovely,
with
thank
the
you.
school or something.
Yeah, it's great,
Oh,
thanks.
it's really nice. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
What did you do at uni then?
I did a law degree and a business degree.
Wow. Okay.
So
Law degree.
So it was basically it was a qualifying law degree, which gave me the same exemptions to be able to go on.
Yeah.
It was, but it wasn't some of the wider modules. And then it was a business minor.
Were you
So,
planning to be a lawyer or something, or not sure at that time?
I thought it was most likely. So I wanted to be a barrister.
Oh, okay.
But more than anything, I wanted to travel.
Yeah.
So at that time, there was a few businesses. There were actually, I think, only 3 at the time, which offered year deferrals. So you
Okay.
go through the whole graduate recruitment process.
Yeah.
And at the end of that process, they would take you on a year later.
Oh, wow.
So I thought I'd leave it to fate. So I applied to the 3 businesses which offered it, expecting probably not to get any of those 3. And then I'd come back and become a barrister. But as it turned out, I ended up getting one of those 3. So my life went totally different direction. And I ended up going to the business sector instead of law. But then, ironically, I ended up... My job was very heavily legal based, contracts and things like that. Yeah. So it all became quite useful.
It's all the stuff I hate. All the legal, like all the. I mean, you do a lot of accounts stuff and that.
Yeah.
I hate the numbers and all that stuff. As much as, thankfully, Dad does. He's so good with that stuff. He's been doing it for 50 years, like accountancy and all that. But I just, I'm a picture person. That's why I'm a designer. But I hate doing all that stuff. That's the hardest part of what I do, is having to do all the contract things and all the number stuff and all that. It's like, it's so foreign to me compared to what I'm normally doing. Like just working with imagery and design and marketing and stuff, and more what I find fun stuff. But doing all the it's even when we do all of our planning that we spoke about earlier. It's like I really have to get in the zone to do it. It doesn't come naturally to me. I have to sort of really think it all through. Yeah. Whereas with design, it's different. But I suppose
it's good to work with somebody who can, just be that person to take you through it. Because in businesses, like if you don't get that side right, you'll be dead.
I'd say we're lucky.
So much.
Yeah, we're lucky because Dad is like. He's a bit of an oracle to us in terms of like how it should be. I mean, he's been doing accountancy for 50 years, but he's just worked with businesses for so long that he just really does round us off and ground us and get us in the right sort of place.
Yeah, definitely.
So we're always on the right track. You guys have probably got similar process. I mean, you've got a massive team. How many you got at your place?
Just about to hit 40, I think.
40, yeah.
There's 4 of us in the accounts department.
Yeah.
But we just all work together. Everyone's got their separate bits to do, but we really work together as a team. And, it is good.
Yeah.
What we do. So.
Did you think that's what you'd be doing, I guess? Or you
considering I could never pass my GCSE maths, I never thought I'd be sending out invoices, contracts. It's just crazy. But I suppose once you start doing it, you kind of learn as I've gone on, really. And
you just get into it, don't you?
There's been people who've got degrees and experience above me, and they can just show me what's right, what's wrong, best way to do it, and we just work together and get through it.
That's it, isn't it? Having people with a mentor in a way, or to help you through it, because you're never going to anybody who comes into the business won't know everything about everything. Like we've got Amy's just started with us, a new developer, and I keep saying to her, keep talking to Shane, because Shane's got 17 years experience in web design and and that full stack development, and he just knows everything. It just seems to be so he knows everything, but he just seems to know everything. He's one of those people you can just go to, Shane, can you do this? And if you doesn't know, he'll figure it out very quickly. And I just say to, you know, keep asking questions, because like you'll learn so much from that other person, and actually he can also learn from her, because there's stuff that she's doing that he hasn't done. So, and just getting them to constantly collaborate on stuff, and that's, I think, that's perfect for a team.
Not being scared to fail. People worry about failing so much, as opposed to just going for it.
Yeah, I mean, you can fail, and you know, but you can always start up again. You can always go again. You know.
Yeah.
It's just how you get up, isn't it?
Yeah.
From a failure is the key point.
It really is. Most successful business people have been bankrupt many times before they made it work.
Yeah.
It's that ability just to back yourself and think, okay, well,
let's give it a go.
I didn't get it this time, but you back yourself to get it right next time and learn.
Yeah.
Oh, this is lovely.
Great.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I'm very impressed with the food here.
We said that last year to our managers, go and make mistakes instead of keep asking. For example, keep running everything through Dave.
Yeah.
He wants people to go off and do it themselves. They might make mistakes, that's fine, but you've got to make the mistakes to learn from it.
I always find it's the best way to go. You know, you sink or swim. Like when I was first started a job in London, taxi advertising job, working for a chap called Asher, Taxi Promotions. It was like basically I'd never done what I was being asked to do, like set up these sort of taxi files, these Illustrator files. I had no idea what to do, and he just literally dumped it on me and said, right, you've got a campaign for Incredible India, go. And I was like, okay, so I literally had to learn on the job, and actually, do you know what, you learn bloody quick, because you make a mistake. You know, I made a mistake on a Nevada campaign, and it was like, it's one of those mistakes that it's full blown, like, because it's full size taxi, it's like, the client can see it, you're not getting around it. And he's like, well, that's, you know, we're going to have to rewrap that cab now, it's going to cost us 800 quid. Don't make that mistake again, Matt. I was like, I won't, don't worry. And you suddenly think, I'm not going to make that mistake again, but I've learned straight away, I'll check that next time, you know. And it's learning from those massive errors that actually really help grow you, I think, as a person.
Definitely.
I always like to look for the process. When someone comes up with an idea, so it's like, show me how you've thought it through. Show me how you've kind of looked at the kind of pros and cons and looked at the risks. And as long as they can show the full process, like actually they've thought about it from A to Z, it's a go with it. As opposed to someone who comes up with, could be an amazing idea, but if they haven't shown me they've actually thought about it in its entirety and all the mitigation, and even I think it's a great idea, it'd be like, no, just complete the process so you feel that it's been well thought out, because otherwise you're not mitigating mistakes, you're simply being stupid. There's a difference between risk, which is well thought out, and risk which is just pure fly by your pants.
Yeah, no, that's totally true. But, you know, as a business you can go either way down that road, can't you? You can just literally, you know, throw stuff out there, hope for the best, or actually think, how would this affect, you know, how would this actually help affect my business, or get new clients, or get us to talk to people. But I've always found it's good to sometimes get thrown into the deep end and learn for yourself, you know.
Yeah, that's what we brought Emma in for, because we never used to really be that out there, spoke to many people.
Emma's brilliant at that,
so she's done a great job.
Yeah, she's lovely, Emma. She's always out there, and it's all the meetings, all the changes stuff. And easy to talk to, isn't she? That's the key.
It's great,
You know, that's what Fee's good at as well, but she doesn't know it really. She's kind of one of those people that has all these skills, but she's too, like, she's not confident enough in herself to realise that she's got the skills. So she'll go and network. Like, she's the best networker I've ever seen. Like, in terms of like we went to Victoria coach station one time, and literally we were just there because we were travelling up to London, and I was in the toilet, so I went to the toilet. By the time I got back, she got this person, this is Maureen, this is her life story, this is all about her, you know, this is where she's going. I was like, okay, and she's just so easy, she finds it so easy to do that, whereas I can't. I'm so much more nervous about going up to people and just talking to them. You know, I just can't, I'm just not that naturally gifted, but she does it, but she doesn't think she worries about it, that she can't do this. But I say I'm so talented in that, but it's that, having an anxiety with it, really.
It's always hard when you see someone with ability, and that ability gets squashed by their own self-doubt.
Yeah.
You see it and you see how good they are, and it's frustrating, it's hard, because you want to be able to help. When people are battling, which is their own demons.
Yeah.
They've got so much talent.
It's knowing how to help is the thing I struggle with, because you don't know. Because I'll just turn around and go, oh, it's easy. You're good at this, like, and that's just not the way to go about it. Apparently, like, you know, it should be. You know, it's trying to get her to. It's getting her to realise it herself, rather than, you know, me just saying, yeah, you can do it. Yeah, you can do it. You can do it. And it's a
bigger topic, really. It's all about mental health, isn't it? And all these things are really to do with mental health. Yeah. And I think only in the last few years it's really even coming up as a topic. People just even starting to talk about.
You almost weren't allowed to talk about it before.
No, and self-confidence, there's not a big gap between self-confidence and anxiety and wider mental health discussions and openness. And
yeah, for sure.
I'm a bit like you, Matt. You hate talking in front of everyone, don't you?
Oh, yeah. So I don't know how people do it. Like, you're good at it, Steve, but you know, like, because I have to do it as well. Like, you know, as part of the business, you sort of have to. At some point, you have to stand up, or you have to do an event, or you know, you're the one there presenting, and I just get so nervous. And the whole time, it's even when you go around doing the, even at a chamber thing where you got 5 minutes, 2 minutes to speak, and you know it's coming to you. And, and the whole time I'm there going, it's coming to me, it's coming to me. I almost want to go up first and go, I'll go first, and then do my bit, and then it's done, and I can relax, because the whole time it's going to each person, I'm getting more and more anxious, and it's just, you know, it's like one-on-one. It's fine, like this now. Yeah. You know, I've got no confidence problems there, but it's certainly in front of everybody. When everybody, I don't know why, when everybody's looking at you, are you the same then? You're saying?
Yeah, I can't do it.
Yeah, it's just a.
I just say no, it's fine. I just won't do it. I'd rather not put myself through it. But even like if you sat around like I don't know, when you used to be able to have meetings with new clients, you have to go around the table and introduce yourself. I just, just dread it. I don't know why.
It's all confidence, isn't it? And it's how you process, how you process what's in front of you. And it's, I mean, I get nervous. I get massively nervous.
Oh, really?
And then the first.
So you wouldn't know it.
In the first couple of minutes, it was always I know I'm going to battle the first couple of minutes, but I know by minute 3 I should be through it. Yeah. And I always hate working off notes, and I hate reading anything. Yeah. So I sometimes have the notes in front of me in case I go absolutely off. Yeah. We'll just go blank. It's that kind of blank moment. But also, if you know what you're talking about and just talk about what you know, as opposed to making it a speech or a script. So you kind of deal with it as if you're talking to one person. About the thing you love or you enjoy or what you know.
Yeah, I wish I could get that into my head, because I just don't know how. I suppose it could take a bit of training or whatever. You know, some people are naturally good at it, and others aren't. But
I think people get stuck by script. I think they get stuck by having to say a certain thing. If you can just get away from like things you have to talk about, I think, okay, well the topic is this. And therefore I'm just simply going to talk as if I was talking
just one-on-one.
About this topic, and it's what I do. It's what I know. So therefore, how wrong can it really go?
True, yeah.
And it's things like on a speech, the things I write at the bottom as a reminder will simply be, you know, have I thanked everybody? Because sometimes I can get
lost,
which is terrible an artist. So it's just like, you know, those little reminders at the beginning, or just one-word prompts. And then there's a backup of which is basically a script. If I just blank out of, it's there. But I found I don't usually need it.
Yeah, you did a pretty good job at the awards in front of everybody, because that was a big old audience.
Once I'm in, you can't stop me. It's just that initial get through that first 2 minutes where you stutter and it's just nerves, and then cause that cause the stutter and the blanking. But once you forget the room and you're just chatting as if you would chat to anybody. It really opens up. Yeah,
definitely. Something I need to improve on, because it is useful to have that, because really in our business I'm the sort of main spokesperson, I suppose, so it does kind of rely on me to do that. But although you could hire someone to do that, I mean, you got Emma, haven't you? So does she quite like standing up?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, she must have.
She gets on with it, doesn't she?
Yeah, she's good at it. So.
That's it. I think having someone, I'd love to have that. Have a wing person. You
Yeah.
go. I'll just sit here.
You can
Again,
hide.
it's it's running away from the problem.
Hire her out.
Yeah. Yeah. That's not a bad idea actually.
You always take it on, Matt. You always say this, but I'm always impressed that you go for it. Like you can see you're constantly overcoming your fear, and you don't shy away from it.
No.
So I know you're
I
nervous.
think you have to do
Yeah.
it, but
It's like you're nervous, but you're doing it. It's good.
I think you have. Yeah, I mean, I think for me, I have to do it because, you know, it helps the business basically. So, you know, whatever I do is trying to help how we grow.
So I thought that office opening we were going to do, I was like, I'd love to be able to stand up and like thank everyone. I was just like, I wouldn't be able to, don't think I'd be able to do it, but I thought I'd give it a go. But
yeah, so you're prepped for it.
yeah.
Did you come to our office opening? Didn't you? With the, did you come to that? No, you did. Yeah. It was the had the sort of Brightbulb glasses and stuff.
Yeah.
that was really good fun actually. It's sort of such a nice location down there, but it was
it was good.
the weather helped. But
Yeah, it was amazing, wasn't it?
yeah, no, that's one again. I'd had to do a speech, and I think I almost cried. I think because I can't remember why. I think I was talking about Fee or something. But it doesn't take much for me to cry.
Isn't it,
I'm a
when
serial
you're
crier, to be fair.
Yeah.
I cry at Britain's Got Talent, for goodness sake. So it's a bit embarrassing, to be honest. A bit of a problem.
Do you find you cry since you had kids, or did you cry before kids?
You know what? Yeah, having kids has made it tenfold because you can look at, you know, Britain's Got Talent, the classic actually. I don't know if you ever lower yourself to watch such TV, but it's that's a classic one where you've got all these young kids doing stuff, and you've got all their proud parents there on the sidelines, and you think, oh, imagine if that was Izzy and Jasper, or they've gone through something, gone through some backstory, and you think, oh, but now I look at, that's the whole thing, I relate everything to Izzy and Jasper. I'm like, oh wow, imagine if that was Izzy, I'd be so proud, or amazing, if that had happened to Izzy, I'd be so, you know, upset, or, you know, so it's kind of, you just tenfold, isn't it? I don't know if it's the same for you when you've had kids, it's just like the emotion is just suddenly so much worse, and the worry as well, and everything else that comes with it.
Yeah.
I found that totally. I mean, I never cried in movies or anything. Then I had kids, and I can remember it so clearly. I was flying back from somewhere, and I was watching Les Miserables.
Oh yeah, that's a great
and it was
film. Love that.
the scene at the end of the first half, as it was if it was the theatre, when she dies, and I suddenly caught it out because the hostess was coming to take my drinks, and I was like, no. I just it's like, and from that day forward, from the day I had kids, I now can't watch hyper emotional stuff. It's like just gets me every time.
Yeah, I quite like watching it though. I quite like that bit weird. I like the release of actually. It's not a manly thing to say at all, but hey, you know. But yeah, I kind of like that sort of. I'll sit there with Fee because Fee's very much like that as well. It's so emotional, and we'll just sit there, we'll just be like blubbering together, and looking over like, "Are you crying yet? I'm crying yet." But I quite like the release. I'm almost like I only really do it around Fee, obviously. When other than that office speech and stuff is quite emotional, but I try to hold it in if I can. But I know it's a bit embarrassing, but sometimes I think, you know what, that's just how I'm built. Yeah.
Well, hopefully, going forward and next generation, it won't be embarrassing.
No.
I don't think it should be, should it?
No.
Definitely not.
I think it's changing. The whole, those traditional roles and barriers for both sexes.
Yeah.
Women in terms of just barriers, and men in kind of an orchestrated way you have to behave.
Yeah.
I hope that's changing.
Yeah, it does seem so. Thanks for joining us, guys. It's been lovely having you at the table, and I hope you've enjoyed the experience. I think it's been
great.
A bit of something a bit different.
Yeah,
nice food and it's all free, so you can't complain.
So I say I'll get it.
Yeah, shout us.
Yeah.
But no, it's been really enjoyable. But it's cool.